Yep.
All right, it's just setting it up. And there we go. We'll just mute that. I think we're live, maybe.
It says we are.
All right, well. All right.
Cool.
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to check my Facebook and just see if we are indeed live. Yes, we are. Okay. Cool. For those who don't know me, I'm Linda, and I'm the founder and creator of Amora Healing. And before I go any further, I think we need to work out how to record. There we go. So I wanted to get on today and have a bit of a chat about living to your diagnosis. And what I mean by that is you go to the doctor, you get a diagnosis for something, you know, depression, anxiety, cancer, whatever, and all of a sudden you're living your life to that diagnosis. And I'll give a bit of an example. I started going through menopause a few years ago and didn't actually know I was in menopause until, you know, there were that many symptoms and I felt very unwell, and I went to the doctor and I said, do you think I could be in menopause? So she made me fill out this form. And yes, yeah, I'm perimenopause. So from that day onwards, I lived to that diagnosis, and my belief system about menopause was really what I had read, what I'd heard from people, and how terrible it was, and how many symptoms that, you know, you have, and it can go on for years and years and years. And that's what I lived to. So it was terrible. And it was going for years and years and years because that's what my belief was. So I really lived to that diagnosis. So today I have brought Paula from the Heart Centre Academy of Healing on, just to have a chat about her experience, because she's actually had this experience very, very recently. So I thought I'd bring her on and she can share her story. So if you want to introduce yourself, Paula, and take it away.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Paula Dart, as the beautiful Linda has said. So my business is the Heart Centre Academy of Healing. I'm in South Australia in Mawson Lakes. I am a emotional coach, healer, and wellbeing practitioner, and specialise in autism, ADD, ADHD, and trauma. And there's a lot of grief that's also associated with that. So specialise in parental grief as well. So as Linda said, I have experienced this living my diagnosis probably just for the last year and a half. So what was really interesting was I had been a endometriosis sufferer for a very long time. And in 14 and a half years ago, I had a hysterectomy and the endometriosis cleared up. And I was living this beautiful life and what have you, with, you know, very little pain and what have you. And then last year in March, I went back to the doctor because I started noticing severe abdominal pain, and thought, okay, well, don't feel like nothing's wrong, and thought, well, you know, getting to that age where I probably should go get a checkup anyway, because I really hadn't been to the doctor for a very long time. And yeah, it was there that she said, all right, let's run some tests. And I got the trifecta that I like to call it. And she, on my review checkup, she said, okay, you're perimenopause, you've got osteoporosis, and it looks like your endometriosis is back. Well, I rang Linda and cried and cried and cried and cried, because I'm like, no, it's surely, like, I've had 14 years without endometriosis, so surely it cannot be back. And so I went into quite a deep depression there for a while, didn't I, Linda? Like,
Yes.
I was just so upset. And what I noticed was the minute that they said I had endometriosis again, I went straight back into severe abdominal pain and cramps, bloating, and all of the symptoms for the endo was definitely back. Well, that is what I thought. So for the past just over 12 months, I was waiting for surgery to have the endometriosis cleared out. And I had decided to have my ovaries and my fallopian, the remaining fallopian tube removed, because I felt that if I really, had the ovaries removed, then my chances of the endometriosis coming back again hopefully would have been very slim or non-existent. So
just, I want to interrupt just for a minute
there.
I want you to talk about the psychological side of all of this and what you've been through over the last 18 months, not just the physical pain and everything, but what has actually occurred in your life. In that way.
Yeah, what it did do is brought up a lot of trauma for me. Because I was having womb healing done, I was having, a lot of releasing of the womb space. It brought up a lot of emotions that I had actually trapped within my womb space. And after a very long time, realized that there was actually a childhood abuse, sexual abuse that I was also keeping in my womb space. And at the time, like, I didn't even know, I was 47 years old and didn't even know that I had been sexually abused when I was younger. So it brought up a lot of emotion and a lot of trauma and a lot of emotional suffering and pain, because the way that the healing was actually done brought to the surface the person, the event, and everything. So it was like I was re-traumatized all over again.
So it's like a trigger, really, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Like, it was a really big trigger. And so then I had to work on the emotions of the trigger. But what I noticed was that from then I felt like I almost went into a complex PTSD where I became paranoid. So many belief systems came up: abandonment, feeling lost, feel alone, pain and suffering like there was no tomorrow.
And your withdrawal from life as well.
Oh,
like your business,
everything
from life in general. Talk about that.
So, what I realized was that everything that I loved and enjoyed, I stopped doing. I actually removed myself from everything. And I think, you, Linda, was really the only person that I was talking to very much at all. But yeah, like I became so comfortable going to work, coming home, sitting on the lounge, that I then became so comfortable that it affected my business, affected, my marriage, it affected my friendships, it affected everything in my whole entire existence of life.
And you actually created these stories that kept all of this going, didn't you? You drew people into your life that would abandon you and not treat you very well. So it was a very big flow-on effect.
Huge.
From that diagnosis, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was like, I last year, and even this year, like pretty much last year from the minute of diagnosis, friendships, I was disappeared and I felt abandoned. I felt like my tribe had been ripped away from me. And then things happened with people, within my business. And then it was like, oh my God, I'm being abandoned again. Oh, that's right. I deserve to be hurt. And because I was hurting, then that was the energy that I was like pushing out into the universe. Oh yeah, I'm hurting. So therefore come hurt me more because I'm just hurting anyway.
Yeah.
And so I did, and boy, oh boy, I got hurt over and over and over again.
Yes, you did. And you also really put yourself into a holding pen, didn't you? Waiting for your surgery. I'm not going to do this because, my surgery might happen. So there was no scheduling, future events and things like that. I can't do that because, I might have my surgery. So life really went on hold for you, didn't it?
Absolutely. I called I called the last 12 months of my life limbo land, because I literally felt like my whole life was in limbo. And, because of, when I was originally diagnosed in March, it was, this is, a severe case. We'll get you in ASAP. You'll go on the emergency list. So my first original meetings with the doctors was, you're on the emergency list. You'll be done within 3 months. And then within 2 months got told, no, COVID, this, that, and everything else. You're not on the emergency list any longer. Now it's 12 months. And oh my God, that completely broke me. That it was like, am I going to have to live with this for 12 more months?
And you also had so much testing done as well. So it wasn't like they were testing and saying that it was, less severe or anything like that. You were having so many, blood tests, scans, all sorts of things, and the hospital was being updated all the time.
And sort of in the end, by the time I actually had my surgery, I had multitudes of blood tests. I had 6 ultrasounds and 2 CT scans. Yeah, and the funny thing is that every time they did anything, they were like, okay, you've got cysts, it's, it's your endometriosis. And even 4 weeks before I actually went into hospital to have the operation, I went to emergency because the pain just got so bad. And, they sort of said, okay, well, it's your endometriosis. Wait for an appointment. Here's some Panadol. Or here's some, what was it? Panadine. Here's a script for Panadine. Go and take some more Panadol. You'll be right.
And there was even talk as well that, your endometriosis, sorry, I didn't say that correctly, could have spread right up, into your organs and things like that.
Yeah, so they were talking, I had pain right up in my shoulder blade. And, we know that endometriosis can spread right up into the heart and the brain. So, and that is actually, people have actually had endometriosis right the way through their whole body. So that's what they were thinking, because I just had to, the pain was creeping up my body. And I was navigating menopause at the same time. So, going through the hormones and this and that and everything else. So it was really hard, as you were saying before, you go down this huge, well, what is this? What is this symptom now? And you go down, I call it the rabbit warren of Google, the rabbit warren of Google of what does this symptom mean? What does this mean? And it was, you become lost in your diagnosis.
Yeah.
And that's literally what I did. I became lost in my diagnosis.
and very frightened too, which was obviously, putting you into a state of fight and flight,
Oh, big time.
which ultimately was exacerbating everything,
Yes.
as we know, because when you're in that state, it affects your hormones.
Yep.
So they were becoming even more out of whack with being perimenopause as well.
Yeah.
So you had like a double, triple whammy happening there as well.
Yeah. And I think that's why I called it the trifecta.
Yeah.
And with the doctors, they very much were, well, you've got to go on hormone replacement now, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. And I was doing my best to listen to what they were saying, but then I was going to alternative therapies as well, and they were all saying, this has actually made you worse, you need to come off of this. So what I found really difficult was the navigation between what I wanted to do for my body and what I was being told to do by the doctors. Because if, the doctors were very pressurizing, you have to do this, you have to do this. And, even when I had my phone consult, and I think it was April with the surgeons, it was, well, you're not listening to what we want you to do, so we'll see you in theatre. And then I didn't hear or see the surgeons at all until literally the moment that I was in theatre.
So there was a lot of disconnection to self as well. You were starting to, obviously not trust in your own intuition in all of this as well, because you're, on one hand, you're being fed this information, on the other hand, you had other information. So it was very, very confusing time. And, like I said, really losing that connection to yourself and what you felt was best for yourself.
Absolutely, because it got to the stage in the end that I was in so much pain all day, all night. I was exhausted. I was just so tired all the time. And the pain, literally took over my whole existence of life.
And pain, as we know, can change your personality as well.
Oh, it definitely
it changes your whole perspective on life. Even, some of our conversations, you'd be at your academy and, next minute, I think I'll just go home. It's really, really nothing for me to do here. So, really any excuse for you to withdraw and go home into your little safety bubble.
My nest.
Off home.
Netflix became my best friend.
It did. It certainly did.
And then Prime became my best friend, and then YouTube became my best friend.
Cycled through them all.
I did. I literally just cycled through them all. I wanted to hide. I wanted to hide from life. I didn't, there was times that I can't say that I was suicidal, but there were days where I just went, I just can't do this. I don't want, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. If this is going to be my life, then that's it for me. I'm just going to give up on everything. And, what I found was I felt so negative to everything. And for me, I really struggled with that because I'm not a negative person. And, I'm normally, very bright, uplifting, I'm very positive, and that's what I, try and do. But I just became, the world was shit. I hate it. I hate my life. I hate everything about my life. What's the point? What's the point of everything and anything?
And even though you were still in pain when you're at home, that became your new comfortable zone. To stay in that, to shield you from the horrible outside world that kept abandoning you and, really treating you like crap.
That was, sort of, and it was really funny because I've never really liked my home. But I became so comfortable with being at home that I really didn't want to leave it. Didn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do anything. Let me hide under my blanket and my hoodie.
And which is literally what you did.
It's literally what I did.
Every time we would FaceTime, you'd be in your hoodie.
Yeah, I was in my hoodie.
But you had showered.
Most days I had showered.
That's what you tell me. Yeah. Oh, but I've showered. I'm in my hoodie, but I've showered.
I showered.
I brushed my teeth. So surgery was pretty much to the date or day a year later, wasn't it?
Yeah, like so pretty much like so they basically said 20th of September would have been around about my due date to have surgery. I landed up having surgery on the 7th of September this year.
Yeah.
And you know, and this is where the story gets interesting.
So talk about the lead up and what you created to go to hospital.
Oh God, what did I do? I created
the t-shirt.
Oh yes. Yeah. Okay. So I literally from the moment of diagnosis, I became an endometriosis warrior. My whole life revolved around endometriosis. You know, I joined every single endometriosis association, every Facebook page, every Instagram, TikTok. I lived endometriosis diagnosis for just over 12 months. And so to prepare myself for surgery, I made myself a t-shirt and it said Endo Warrior. And that's what I went into hospital with that day. I am an endometriosis warrior. I am, you know, this is who I am now.
You're living it.
Yeah, I lived it.
Yeah,
very much. You know, I became it. I became obsessed with it. I lived it. And yeah, like, you know, it became my everything. Yeah.
So surgery happened.
Surgery happened.
Next day.
So 7th of September, went into surgery and I came out of surgery not very well. Didn't cope very well with anesthetic, I don't think. And landed up having to stay in hospital for 3 days. Was meant to be in and out that day within 4 hours. Went in on the Wednesday, came in out on the Friday. But here's the interesting fun fact. I had my surgery and the surgeons came in and told me that my bowel was entangled, my ovary on my left side was entangled and entwined, attached to my bowel. But here's the interesting thing. No endometriosis found at all.
Yep.
None. And, you know, I still, you know, it's 2.5 weeks now after surgery and I'm still dumbfounded with that. Yeah. You know, I'm still, what? Surely, like,
I've lived 18 months being an endo warrior. What the hell?
What the hell?
What am I now? Who am I now?
Who am I now without endometriosis? Free! But it literally was like, you know, sort of the interesting thing was that for the 18 months, I said to every single doctor that I saw, I said it to the surgeons, I said it to the doctor, I said it to the people that were x-raying me, the CT, you name it. I said, there's something wrong with my bowels. And I knew that that's where the pain was coming from because it was all over one side. And I kept on saying to them, it's my bowel, it's my bowel, it's my bowel. No, it's not. It's your endometriosis.
And no, you felt like you could feel something was attached to your bowel because you could feel a pulling, couldn't you?
I could feel it every time I moved. Like, you know, in the end, the swelling of my stomach was just so engorged that I couldn't bend over to do up my shoes or to put pants on. I literally could not bend anymore. Like the pain to bend over was absolutely excruciating. You know, and even when I went into hospital in emergency 4 weeks before surgery, I said to them, it's my bowels. And they said, oh, we think it's diverticulitis. And when it came out, no diverticulitis, it's your endometriosis. So, you know, I was just a smidgy bit really pissed off with the medical system again. And just a slight smidgy bit pissed off at all of the doctors, and also slight bit pissed off about my, like, towards my surgeon that did my original hysterectomy, because he was the one that took the fallopian tube but left the ovary dangling. And that's what then became attached and entangled in my bowel.
Wow.
But, you know, so, you know, this is the interesting thing. You turn around to the doctors, they ask you, okay, what's your past history? And if it's anything linked, if it like links up just a little tiny bit to one of your little things you've had in the past, that's what it is.
They put you in the endometriosis box with the symptoms that you had.
Yep. Abdominal pain. It must be endometriosis. And because I had cysts on the ovaries and in the ovaries, and there was endometrial something or other on the right ovary, and then there was a can't remember what it's called, like a calcification of the, like there was a bit of calcification, which you know, also can lead to well, they actually tested me for ovarian cancer, because
I remember that.
you know, and that was the scariest bloody couple of weeks, you know, waiting for that bloody blood test to find out if all was clear that I did not have ovarian cancer. But again, you know, it was like, we're testing your, like, you know, this leads to this, so we're testing this, you know. And, you know, we are great magnifiers and great manifestors of illness and disease in our body.
Absolutely.
And, you know, when I look at, you know, clients that I've seen that get told that they have cancer and their probability of life is like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever, you can almost guarantee that they die to that date.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
unconsciously, you know, that's
this
what they're
extraordinary told. Because, I mean, this leads into the placebo effect. For anyone who's not familiar with that, in research, they have groups. So if they're testing a new drug, they'll have a group of people who will take the drug, and then they'll have a group of people who will have the placebo, so a sugar pill, but they think that they're having the drug. And, you know, a lot of the research comes out saying that the placebo group get better for whatever they're, you know, testing for, because their mind tells them that they're getting better. It's not the drug, because they haven't had the drug, they've had the sugar pill. And this is what's actually happening when we're living our diagnosis. It's our mind telling us, yes, you have this is who you are now. It's not your experiencing this is who you are. Yes, the people with cancer, you're going to die within 3 to 6 months. Oh, okay, this is what the doctors told me. So the mind puts in motion that this is going to happen, because that is what you truly believe. That is what your mind has told you is happening. And that's exactly what happened with you. You have endometriosis, and there you were. You had every symptom of endometriosis. You were creating it. Didn't actually have it, but your mind thought that you had it and created everything around it. And yes, the triggers, this brought up all the trauma from your past endometriosis as well, all the surgeries that you had to have, you know, your fear of surgery, anesthetic, like there were so many triggers that were going on for you at that time.
Massive.
And like you said, all the beliefs around all of this as well.
Yeah.
Like, my life is like this. Everything ends in disaster. I deserve to be treated like crap. People abandon me.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this from one diagnosis from a doctor.
Yeah.
So you can see how powerful your mind is.
Oh, massive.
Really, if you can create that, you can create the opposite. You can create the health. If you can create the disease, you can create the health.
Yeah. And I think too, sort of one of the things that I found through this journey of like the last 18 months, and that was, because I did embody the diagnosis and everything, I embodied the emotional burdenment of the disease. And what I found really hard to undo was, that I am a victim of something.
Yeah, you really did become the victim.
I did.
To all of the above that we've just spoken about. And the interesting part that I have found as well, like once you came home, and you don't no longer have this diagnosis, how you were instantly better. And obviously there was very much the pain was there from your ovary being attached to your bowel, but all of a sudden you were better. Your recovery has just been incredible. And you're ready to get back out there, hence alive here, like we're doing a live right now. You're in creation mode. You've got all these things that you're lining up for work. It's just been incredible to see this journey. Well, I wouldn't even call it a journey, really. It's just you instantly, okay, I don't have that anymore. So, let's get back to my life now.
And it was really interesting. When the gynecologist came in on the Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, and she said, I was really struggling with pain at this stage, and I just looked at her and I said to her, I don't understand what's happening. I've never had this happen before, and what have you. And I just said, well, what did you do? I'm like, what did you do in there? What did you do? I'm like, this is, my my 9th laparoscopy. I have never experienced this pain before, after surgery. I'm like, what did you do in there? And she just, said, well, we had to remove the ovary entangled in the bowel. And I'm like, well, what about the endometriosis? And she said, she just looked at me and she just smiled and she goes, there wasn't any. And, at the time, because I was gripping hold of the bed going, because I was feeling like I was having contractions, I was also going, huh? It hadn't yet been able to, I hadn't been able to process it. But as I was able to process it and then being able to do whatever I had to do, but it wasn't until I was, as you said, it wasn't until I came out of hospital that I was able to go, I don't have endometriosis. I never did. Yes, years prior, but, for the 18 months. And I'm like, okay, so what is all of this about? And for me, it was about acknowledging that somewhere along the line, I had actually formed a belief that I must be hurt. I formed a belief that I must be in pain. I had formed a belief that I must, I must hurt. My body must hurt. And, it wasn't until I came home and my husband lit me a beautiful fire out the back, and I sat there and I was just watching the fire, and they just said, the pain is now gone. That whole what I had experienced while I was in hospital with all of that extra pain, all of that pain was to actually rise to the surface for me to go and actually say to my body, I don't want this anymore. I'm done with you.
And it's really opened up that connection to self again, to your higher self as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. And my like spirit, everything, like it's just, and I'm in shock a little bit, I think, but I love the fact that I now feel me. Like I can smile again. I don't feel like I've smiled for at least for the last 8 months, definitely not for the last 6. I just have an awareness of like, it's about acknowledgement. It really is. If we don't acknowledge and if we don't stop the story, and my story was, I must endure pain. I must hurt.
So, really, when you think about it, it was your beliefs that created the stories to manifest what you thought was endometriosis, but really manifesting pain, because that's what you believe that you should have. You should endure pain. So we go back to our beliefs, don't we, that we've formed, which aren't even ours anyway to begin with. They're created from keeping other people happy, from our peers, our environment. All of that created from beliefs that you took on as a child. Wow. It's incredible. So your take home for anybody about this, what would be your take home to anyone watching this right now?
My take home for everybody, and that is listen to your own body. Investigate your body. Sort of, if something doesn't feel right and the doctor's pushing a diagnosis on you and that diagnosis feels really heavy to you, then go somewhere else. Investigate it further. Because one of the things that I have learned within the medical system in my 47 years of life, and that is that a diagnosis is something that's written in a book that somebody wrote.
And you need to fit into that box to get
you
that
need to
diagnosis.
fit into that box, and when you fit into a square, what's that old saying? Square, a peg in a square hole or something
like that.
Something like that. Somebody can, I'm sure somebody will actually know what that proper. I know that that's not right, but it's.
Someone can just drop that in the comments later so that we don't look like idiots. Yeah.
If you fit their little ticks, then that's what must be. But question it. We don't question the doctors.
And we don't. And we're not taking away the fact that, in order to get treatment, help, funding, that we do need a diagnosis. So, there is that other end of the scale that,
it is.
We do need a diagnosis to get treatments and things like that. So we're not taking anything away from that.
No, but definitely not.
Like what you said, if it doesn't feel right, if it feels heavy, then we have the opportunity, and we should, to say, I'm not really happy with this. I want another opinion, or I want further investigation, because we should be listening to ourselves.
Yeah, the whole 18 months, I told the doctors something was wrong with my bowels. Because that's what I knew from connecting into my body and my own awareness, that something was wrong with my bowels.
And then you really shut awareness and that connection down, especially
because
like
I
in the
felt
last
that I
8
wasn't being
months.
hurt. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I felt that
Mm.
I wasn't being heard, and I wasn't being listened to, and and everything. And what was really interesting was when I was having the ultrasounds done, I think there was 2 or 3 of the girls that actually did the ultrasound that do that lovely one that really hurts, and they turned around to me and said, have you thought about getting your bowels investigated, because that's where your pain is? So I went to the doctors to get their gain reviewed, and I would say to them, like, hey, like, even they've said it's the bowels. Oh, well, you're waiting for a colonoscopy and endoscopy.
And you're ticking the boxes still for endometriosis. So we really are going to stick with that.
Well,
and
endometriosis is the root cause.
Yeah.
Your bowels are inflamed because of endometriosis.
And then we'll wait till we get in there and see what we can find whilst we're in there exploring.
Yeah. And this is the biggest problem. Like, sort of it's, you've got to wait for surgery. Like, it's great if you've got private health insurance, so you can get in and out. But if you don't, then it's that waiting game, and that's when the mind kicks in. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
So yeah, if anyone has any questions, about what we've been discussing, get on my page or message me or Paula. This is what we do. I'm a complex trauma therapist. So this is, what I do. It's what Paula does. So yeah, I hope you have all got something out of today's talk, and how powerful, really my take home is how powerful our mind actually is, and what we can create create for a lifetime in some instances as well. We can create a lifetime from a belief that we have. So thank you, Paula, for sharing your story and
thank you so much
here. And anybody who needs any help, reach out to myself or Paula. Beautiful. All right, thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye.